Francis, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How about you?
Yeah, everything good, everything good. So when I look at you, I see your name Francis. You speak French. You play some of Afro house. So there is a lot of a mix of cultures. Can you tell us a little bit about your story, like where you have grown up and where you live right now?
Absolutely. I actually lived in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and that's where I'm originally from for 18 years. So French is actually very much in the culture. Creole is my native tongue, but I learned French in like high school. A lot of Asian people speak French. And I went to French high school, as a matter of fact, and I finished. And upon finishing, I moved to the U.S. to go to university. So obviously, growing up in Haiti, I went to French International High School. I had a lot of international friends. Some friends from Ethiopia, friends from Nigeria, and that kind of gave me like an exposure to the world. Obviously, friends from France and friends from the U.S. The, based on the proximity of Haiti to the United States. So based on that, I really was exposed to a very diverse cultural background from all angles. And in terms of my university, I also went to university in Providence at Brown,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of internationals there as well. So throughout my first 20 years of existence,
yeah.
I was really exposed to lots of cultures. Yeah, and that's the background.
And all of that reflects actually in all of music that you produce because
Yes,
you are quite versatile. Afro house, tech house.
very very versatile. A bit too much at times.
Yeah,
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I started originally doing more melodic, kind of tropical deep, and then I moved to like classic house. Then I moved to tech house. Then I did a little bit of more melodic deep techno,
yeah,
and then now my love is really in Afro house. Yeah. So I also have an alias, which is strictly reserved for the underground.
yeah.
But these days, I'm like, I have a very wide spectrum and interest. It keeps it fun in the studio.
Yeah, yeah.
What I was making 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I don't see how I would be still making these kind of records, right? Because it would be a bit too repetitive.
Yeah.
So I've been discovering and dabbling within the Afro House for a year now. I had a release on spinning, on
Premier
Abracadabra.
Gao.
Yeah, Premier Gao, and did something with Abracadabra with Blondish. So from there, I've been working on quite a lot of records in the Afro House.
Actually, just before I came to see you right now, I received an email from a promo from Abracadabra of your new track with Bibi.
Okay, Evidence,
Yeah. So how did that track come up actually to start with?
Well, Bibi actually, he's fairly established artist since the 80s. He's actually really well known in France and Northern Africa. And I've listened to his records from a very young age. So when I came to try and I had this composition that was like melodic, kind of deep, and I wanted it to be a bit more, kind of diverse and have more depth than putting like a standard English vocal, for example, right? Because I think that's kind of too obvious. So I reached out to few singers that I looked up to, that I was like into, and coincidentally I reached out to BB Dance, his team, because I've been a fan of his work, and I got connected to them fairly easily. And then I had a chance to meet BB actually in France, because he's based in Paris.
Yeah.
So he saw me perform at the radio. He liked my energy, and we clicked from there. I sent him a demo, and the next day, I got an idea, and I was like, hey, let's change that, and it worked really well.
And now we have a track which is coming up with him on Abracadabra, which is the very own label of Blondish. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's
thank you.
very good.
It has it's also, this is the re-release, because it was already released on the Tulum compilation,
the VA.
Yeah, the VA compilation that
Yeah.
came out in February. I say Tulum, but
Human Nature.
Human Nature.
Yeah.
Correct. Originally it was supposed to be named Tulum, but Blondish decided to change last minute to Human Nature. So it was featured as one of the tracks, but then since it was such a special record, we reserved it for a re-release, and we also included a couple remixes.
Okay. Okay.
One from Night Freak, which is an artist that
Yeah.
is signed to my label, and one from a very close friend of mine called Nico De Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
And the remixes are really solid and different from the original, and they
Yeah.
really complement. Night Freak went full on Afro house, like very standard Afro house, as plain as it is, and Nico De Andrea went a bit more melodic.
Yeah.
So it really gives like the track nice. It's a nice package. It complements the record with
Yeah,
both
yeah.
of these remixes.
3 good flavors for every taste.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
For every taste.
Yeah. If we talk now about gigs, obviously with Corona there have been a lot of places which were shut down, but fortunately this summer we had a little bit of hope. How was your summer
Yeah,
tour, and what was your highlights?
Some freedom.
Yeah.
We've been actually extremely busy in New York since, I would say, April, since March. I've been having a lot of yacht showcases because they're outdoor. So we've been having like 1 to 2 shows a week. So I've been pretty much slammed since, as far as I can tell, mid-April, St. Patrick's
Yeah.
onwards.
Mm-hmm.
And as things opened up, I had a chance to travel to Mexico, to Europe. Just recently, I played in London and in Paris. And obviously, clubs opened up in New York as well, so I had
Yeah.
a chance to play at a lot of different nightclubs. And Deep Root, my record label, has been doing like a lot of really cool showcases. And a lot of my colleagues and friends opened quite some amazing venues throughout the pandemic. And it's really like a blessing to see all of them actually come to fruition. One of the venues being this location called Somewhere Nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a monthly residency there for
Nice.
my Afro House label,
Mhm.
Deep Root Tribe. And yeah, it's always a blessing to play there because it's like an amazing sound system, great atmosphere, great
Yeah,
crowd. So this summer has been, I would say, probably the busiest summer I've ever had, based on the number of shows, the number of records I'm working on. It's quite a lot going on, yeah.
But it's good to know that things have been going well during such a critical time. You are a DJ, that's good. You're also a producer, very good. But you're also a label owner,
Yeah.
Deep Roots. So is it hard to juggle between the three, or how do you manage your time?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. No. Actually, the best way to go about it is you kind of have to prioritize and create chunks of time to do specific projects. So on one day, I'll focus on my DJing activities, and another day I'll focus more on my record label. I'll focus on being in touch with different artists, overseeing the event planning department, doing the suitable A&R. Because to be honest with you, Deep Root is not just a record label. It also has like a extensive event planning department because we produce quite a lot of shows and we talent buy, and we do like a lot of event based around the label and the sound of the label. And not to mention, Deep Root Records consists of 3 different sub labels. So there's Deep Root Records, which is for like tech house and classic house,
Mm-hmm.
Deep Root Underground for more melodic deep, and Deep Root Tribe for Afro house. Yeah. So that gives us diversity, also multiple releases a week, and a lot of events that are not competing against each other, which is the key. Because some nights, we could do like tech house shows, another night we'll do like an Afro house melodic show.
Yeah. So that's how we say, putting eggs in different baskets,
Yeah,
being on the
exactly.
fronts,
Yeah.
all of the fronts. That's very good. Where can we expect to see you next?
Wow. New York, obviously.
Yeah.
I have another European tour scheduled for November. I will be performing in London, Paris, Prague, most definitely Belgrade. We're working for potentially Spain, but that's contingent on the restrictions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that for now.
That's
And
about-
obviously, I have like some really big dates in New York, and also I have like an upcoming date in Los Angeles. October 2nd, I will play actually October 1st, I will play in LA at this location called Members. I may play September 30th in Vegas with Blondish. So
Cool.
that's pending. But yeah, there's quite a lot
A
happening.
lot to look for, huh?
Yeah, and obviously, for Miami during Art Basel, I'm most likely going to be traveling there.
Yeah, yeah.
So things are good, man.
Yeah, yeah, amazing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Before we finish off, how do you see Francis in 2026, in 5 years?
Oh no, I haven't thought that far out yet, but I foresee continuing to do what I love.
Mhm.
I don't know what kind of music I'll be making
Yeah.
then, because maybe I'll switch back to something I used to make, or I'll go with where my feeling lies. It's probably gonna be definitely melodic, definitely deep.
Yeah,
Obviously, house. Maybe it'll be deeper than what I'm
Mhm,
currently
mhm.
making, because it feels like as time goes by, I keep going deeper
the
and
roots.
deeper.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So that's where I'll be with my music. But as my record label, I definitely foresee it growing and gaining momentum over time, which is a blessing, because
Yeah.
we have like an amazing team that's working with us. We have like phenomenal label managers, and they're only getting better with time. So I definitely foresee the label being a powerhouse
Yeah, yeah.
amongst the dance music industry, something along the lines of Defected, Armada.
Yeah, yeah.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, we hope. Yeah,
knock on wood.
there is everything
Yeah.
which can lead to that route. Francis, thank you very much
My
for being
pleasure.
here, and
Thank you.
see you next time. Take care, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you.